Hey and good morning, everyone. Hi, happy Sunday. How is everyone doing today? I'd love to hear from you in the comments. Love to hear how you are. And what I'd love to talk about today is a little bit more about money lessons I've received. That's going to be one thing that I'd love you to take from this. And obviously, I want to talk a little bit more about the equinox and the energy of the equinox. Now, in the northern hemisphere and also the southern, by the way, the equinox is happening the 23rd. So that is tomorrow. Originally, it's celebrated between the 21st of September and the 23rd, generally speaking. So this is obviously a reoccurring event every year. And this time is perfect for for basically balancing yourself, for looking at your money business, looking at your personal harvest, and all of those actions, because especially if you're in the northern hemisphere, we're going to go inward now. So it's the time in which you have received your final harvest of this season. Doesn't mean that you won't have new harvest coming, but for now it's time to calm your mind. Hi, good morning, everyone. So that is what the equinox energy represents, and that is why it's so good to see where are you investing money, your time, and what are you getting back from it? It's just time to basically check up what is going on. So that is part of what I'd love to share about today. If you're just joining, I'm also going to share a money lesson, and it's going to be one you want to apply straight away, because that is the core essence why you'd like to apply money, or you want to increase your money. So it helps to be aware of that. And then the last thing I'd love to discuss is scarcity. I want to talk a little bit more about scarcity attitude, and if you indeed recognize that that is something you have. So if you're here live, can you just let me know if you can hear me? Have you been working with money? Have you been working with your harvest? Let me know what is going on for you. So I'd love to hear that. I'm just going to take a little bit of time to have you apply. Hi, Kim. Oh, you're here. Hi. So I'd love to hear. Yes, maybe you've heard already. So let me know. Have you been taking this time of the year to look at your personal harvest, to where you've been investing your time? So let me know. And maybe if you're watching the replay, you want to think about that. You want to think like, oh, yes, what have I received all of these years? And obviously you receive things because you've been putting your energy there. And you can also think like, for the next year, this is not really where I'd like to invest my time and my money and myself and interactions, and I'm just going to withdraw from that. So that can be very powerful. And for me, and many of you know because you've been here for a long time, of course, I celebrate the new year, the 31st of October. That is for me an ending and the beginning of the year, because that's Soen, and Soen is for me it's the most important festival to celebrate. Maybe I know we've got a few witchy friends that celebrate that too. That's perfectly aligned with the seasons. Kim says, I'm working loads with money, changing my mindset, purposely manifesting, etc. So I absolutely love that. So that is awesome. In terms of harvest, not sure, you haven't reflected on that a lot. Okay, no worries. There's also, I've put up a post. So if you're here live or if you watch the replay, there's a post on my blog with questions you can ask yourself around where you'd like, how you've been investing your time and what your return on investment has been. Okay, so then this is the money lesson I wanted to go live from. So a lot of you have received the money magic workshop as an extra, and you have a daily lesson of wisdom that I've received from the guides. So it's not my own wisdom. I'm not suddenly an accountant or a financial advisor. What I do is energy work. What I'm really good at is clearing blocks, detecting your personal blocks in your subconscious, in your emotional body, or your spiritual energy, and start resetting that and help you reframe your mindset and basically work on every level and layer of your being, because we are multidimensional. And I don't mean that like in a super spacey way at this point in time, but your mind is a world on its own. Your emotions are a world on its own. You just can't see it. Your actions is really going to determine your outcomes. The thing to realize is that your actions, the ones you take them on what you believe is possible for you. And that is where you take your next steps on. And some of you, especially again, if you're here for a long time, I know all of you are so emotionally attuned. And sometimes the emotions take over. So you will respond on an emotion instead of taking the most aligned action. And then, of course, you need to have the things in place that can hold what you're asking for. So if you're asking to receive more, then do you have the actual tools for that? Is there any way that we can make the leap into reality? Because big surprise, and yes, in a sense, everything's energy, but I can still touch my sweater, and we're still living it out in the physical world of Earth. Which I feel like a lot of coaches or spiritual orientated people sometimes forget to mention, but the physical world, this is your canvas. This is where you make everything happen. So, because if you were just energy, no one else could see it. We couldn't, make it into a cup. We couldn't hold it. There's coffee in this cup. So it's very important to also look like what is going on in the physical world for you. So obviously I love combining all of that in the Money Magic workshop. Hi, Selena. I know you're in the Money Magic, so let me know already if you've got questions around that. But in the Money Magic workshop, we actually work with practical actionables that have been given by the guides. Like, this is what people are bumping into. This is what they need to do. The energy work part is to move out of the way all that you've been holding in your energy body that's a blockage. So normally that relates very much to emotional energy that is still stuck there. That is what we work with the dark moon. Remember, the moon relates to your emotional body. So it's easy to align the two. It relates to the subconscious. And yes, sometimes you're going to have a thought or a mindset around that helps shifting that as well. But when we move some gunk out that you didn't know was there, what is that going to do for you? Suddenly, it's not so much of a big deal. You're not quite sure what shifted for you, but you feel so much more peaceful, so much more better. You don't have the fear in the way, you have a lower sense of fear, and you suddenly receive clarity. But why? It's because when you move what's been blocking out of the way, instantly you create space for all the stuff that you do want, but you have a little bit more movement from your body. You can suddenly see, like, that's over there and there. And while we hold a lot of baggage, it really is like this. It's like, I can't really see what else is going on. I hope that kind of makes sense in regards to energy work and what energy work can do for you. For me personally, as a spiritual life coach, looking at your emotions, your subconscious is the key to everything. And it's also the key to that helps you feel so much more aligned, so much more peaceful, so much more at ease with yourself, and getting to know yourself on that deeper level without caring so much about what else is going on and who's doing what. As long as you're feeling good, then that's what it can create more of. All right. So Kim says, how does the time of the year relate to our capacity to receive? Does that change, or is it mainly dependent on our own energetics? Oh my God, I love this question, and I'm going to answer that right now. So I'm just thinking where to start. So first of all, there's a difference between moving outside of time and space and working in our time and space reality. And maybe that's too mind-blowing already. I was like, what? But of course, when we're working with the seasons, when we're working with the time of the year, first of all, it matters if you're in the southern or in the northern hemisphere. Now, I know you're in the northern hemisphere like me, but we're going inward, but Australia is going to move outward. So like what is within is being reflected outside. What you see outside will impact you from within. So then there's the astrology. So astrology still is different than the moon cycle work that I do. The astrology is the movement on the planets, also impacts. You can also read that and you can take that into your energy work and you can funnel it or you can focus it towards a goal and you can increase your goal. So that is always really cool to look at as an extra, or some people love to take it in every day. The moon phases are the same in the northern and the southern hemisphere. And you can look at when they're increasing. That is when you can tune into the energy and increase. And when they are full, of course, they're maxed. And so that is the manifesting energy. And then we have the decreasing energy, which is great for the final release, reflection, and at some point a point of renewal, which is again what I teach in the Dark Moon Healing Circle and what we work with. Now, ideally, you don't have to do a thing, but you can combine it all for really powerful magics. Of course, the more ingredients you put in, the more powerful. I'm still talking about the earth reality that we're in. Now, if you basically move like beyond time and space, which is AKASHIC records work, it's easy, so you can just tap into the energy. You can also switch things around, so you don't necessarily have to align it with the, with the season or with the moon. So let me know if that's clear, if that was too specific, or if you love that explanation. It's basically you choose what you want to interact with. And I also want to say for everyone here or anyone watching the replay, in essence, you always make the magic. So you don't need to take in anything if you don't want to. If you can align enough with your core self, with your soul self, with what you want, then that's all you need. All the other things are extras that you can choose to align with, but you don't have to. You always have the power. That's how I see it and feel it and sense it. So let me know if that was clear. And the time of the year in regards to receiving, so I talked about that a little bit before you got on the call, because it's the harvest time. So you can see it outside of you. We're moving towards the winter time. So what we used to do is we take in all the stuff that we learned from the past year. We make sure we're safe. We make sure we're keeping warm throughout winter. And that is the energy that you can easily tap into almost automatically around this time. Okay. Yes, so yeah, I'm just still reading your question. So yeah, that makes sense. Yes, we are in charge. Yeah, there's a great opportunity to make use of the energetic waves of the earth. It makes sense to Selena too. Yes, so yes, that's it. Awesome. Okay, so money, let's talk money again. So this is something that you can apply straight away. And I must say, so with some, you're going to think like, oh yeah, I can think of that. Of course, that's the case. I really want to urge you to apply the lesson. So if you get off this call and you can take in one thing today that you're going to take in or you're going to be aware of and you're going to schedule it in, then you're really making the changes. Because again, if we think it or if we feel it, it does create an energy, but it doesn't mean like we're making it real straight away. Well, if you apply an action to it, or at least for this live stream, you give a very strong signal to yourself, like, oh my God, yes, this is important to me. To the universe, you're saying like, I'm creating time for this. This is mine. those are two things already. So you're actually are setting up an energetic boundary, if you will, and you are making a commitment to yourself. Those are two very powerful things that you can do. And that is in regards to money, like who, and I'm really going to talk connections, so I'm going to talk more about relationships. So if you didn't watch the first recording on money, on the lessons I've received, I definitely encourage you to look at that recording, because many people had ahas from just me sharing the information I received. So this one, I think it's so important. So this is actually about love. This is about care. This is about nurture, because yes, you're going to want to have money for multiple reasons. Maybe you've got a full list of what you desire, and I really believe like you can have everything you want if it's aligns to you, if it's important to you, if it makes you, you know, if it's a great match, or sometimes not, but then you can choose again. You can have all of that. The thing you want to think about is like, what are you going to do with that extra money, or who are you doing it for, in the sense of what do you think you're going to have when you have this extra amount of money you're trying to manifest. And I specifically, so this was what the guides shared with me, specifically look in this example to your connections. So where are you investing it? Do you want more money so you can take your loved ones out on trips, dinners, walks in the park, that you can make things easier for them, that you can assist with medical health care, that you can, like with, for example, if you've got aging parents, that you think like, I can invest and I can hire some help for them. I can make things a little bit easier. If you have children, you can put it towards your college fund, the college funds and funding, and making sure that they grow up feeling secure and cared for. Maybe it's specifically for you and your partner, like you want to, maybe your partner has a great dream, because a lot of you are givers, like, and you're like, oh yes, we can go on a trip together, we can spend that time, and he or she would feel so great. And so did you hear all of those examples? And there's going to be tons more, but for this one, so please think, what do you think receiving that extra money is going to bring you? What are you going to do with this extra money in regards to your connections? So for some, it will just take the pressure off. So maybe you're very pressured, right? So it's going to take the pressure off you. And because the pressure is off, you can create a little bit more time, that you don't have to work all the time, and you can spend that time with your loved ones again. So think about this. So I really would love you to think about this. If it doesn't pop into your mind right now, then journal on it, write it down. Because there's going to be something you feel you're going to have when you get to the point of like receiving X amount more. You think you're going to do something with that. Now, and what the guide said, what we want you to do is to look at that, again, specifically in regards to love and care towards others, because there's more. You can definitely look at other areas in your life in regards to that. But I really want to keep it with love and your connections and your relationships and your interactions with others today. What are you going to do? What do you think you're going to have? Because you want to make it a priority right now. So that's the key with everything. And I know that it's like a complete paradox, and you've heard me talk about that more often in regards to, of course, your personal life and what you can draw into, because I work a lot with actually manifesting relationships, love relationships. So if you want a partner, I should be your girl to help you manifest and practice love magic. But it's kind of similar with everything you ask for yourself. Is like, okay, so what do you think you're going to have when you have that? And when you've written it down and when you're clear on that, you want to make it a priority right now. What do I mean by that? You want to schedule that time in with your loved ones. You want to connect with them on that level of care and love and ease right now, because everything always happens in the here and now. So when I'm doing this live stream, when I'm currently in Utrecht in the Netherlands in my home, but this is where we're at. So I'm not in Spain. I'm in Spain, but I'm not in Spain. I'm here. This is the moment I have. This is the moment you have. What do you want to do with your time? What is important for you? And are you, in fact, prioritizing that? And how are you prioritizing that? That's the key to everything. Seeing that and then starting to make small steps. Usually, you don't have to make a big leap, because that's going to be weird. If you could have leaped like massively, you would have done that. So what can you do right now to show what you actually want? So if it's actually about having more time with your loved ones right now, but you're working all the time, then what can you do to make sure that you have that togetherness and that closeness? So I'd love to hear if you have any ahas from this already, if you're watching the replay, because I know the US is probably sleeping. Let me know in the comments, because I really love to hear. I love to hear if you understand what I mean. I love to hear if there's ahas jumping in your mind. I'd love to hear what you're going to do. I'd love to hear maybe there's a struggle coming up, or you're saying, I can't do this, Laura, this is a nice idea, but why? Let me know. Let me know and see if I can assist. So one of the things I'm prioritizing today, that's something completely, well, it's not completely different. I'm prioritizing my health. So I'm you can't see that completely. This is my workout shirt though. But I'm going to be working out today. So I'm just going to go to the gym. Bought a gym membership for the time I'm in the Netherlands. And I like to invest my time there, because I know I help myself. I know I hold the space for myself when I do that. I know it helps my brain, my focus, and it gives me self-love. Doesn't have to be the same for you, but for me, it's a very clear decision. That's on my priority list. So this is how you want to work with all the things that are truly a priority for you. So show the money and where the priority is by scheduling it in first. This is also when people say, if you want that, and that to be, it's not going to change overnight or magically appear. You want to start making those changes today, because that is the only thing you're going to make them into an actual reality that's going to last. So it becomes more natural. You don't have to think about it anymore. It's going to be part of your routine. It's going to be completely normal. That is where you want to get when asking for anything that you don't have right now. You have to build the bridge to get there. So yeah. I'm going to scroll down. Okay, Kim says, it's very powerful to look at the intention behind money. I have a list of desires, yet haven't linked intentions to all of them yet. Definitely a next step. Okay, Kim, I love that. I really, really love that. Yeah. Selena says, I get it. First thing that came to mind for me was freedom to take my son, who has ASD and ADHD, out more. I can achieve this by being able to drive. Okay. So this is beautiful, but so what I'd love you to do, Selena, so maybe I can help you with the brainstorm a little bit. I'm a big fan of brainstorming, because it just, not all your ideas are going to be like the $100 million ones, but you want to get into the habits of opening up your mind, because that is how law of attraction as well, but that is how things starts to flow, by just opening it up. No censoring, just opening it up. So maybe, Selena, there's more that because you probably now think, okay, the only thing is like, I need to get my driver's license. So you can make a list. You can yeah, like, how do I get my driver's license? What do I need for that? What is the amount of money? Still a long path towards it. You can definitely make a plan. You can take steps with it. But maybe there's more that you don't know is there. So what else can you do to prioritize time for bringing your son out more? It can be from like connections to neighbors that you didn't know were there. Maybe there's online fora from parents in the neighborhood. Maybe there's even like special sponsored trips. We don't know, but just please brainstorm. And I hope anyone watching the replay also has some inspiration around this. Again, let me know if you want a little bit more help with that. So that is the money lesson I wanted to share, and I want to end with the scarcity one, because so this is an important one as well. Having an intention behind it is your most powerful fuel. And if you have trust, or you can tap into the source of trust, then you have a really nice steady energy that can help you to move further. Now, if you, and it's normal to get fearful, like some people get really fearful, like investing anything in whatever you're doing. But if you check in with yourself, if you know where you'd like to head, if you know that you've got an outcome you want money-wise, you want to increase, you want to allow yourself more money. So allowing, obviously that's the energy part of it. You want to allow yourself more money, and you're making steps to get there, because again, you have to make the steps to get to the next level. You're not instantly gonna go from like, I never ever traveled the world through, like I'm traveling every single country right now tomorrow. How are you gonna get there? How are you going to do that? Your mind's going to think it's not possible, so you have to build the bridge. Again, this is the same for anything. We're talking money. I love that I've been receiving these money lessons, because I can see, so for me personally, I love that I can share this information, but it so builds the bridge to everything I already know and experience on how that, you can, how to interact with energy, how to receive what you want to receive. It's beautiful. And the money lessons are so practical. Okay, so you have to build that bridge. Now, if you invest in something that you know is going to better yourself and you question it, you're going to say like, oh my God, can I afford it? And I have people, so it's totally fine. And I know any investment can be something new and something scary. My Dark Moon Healing Circle is only $29. The Money Magic course was given as a free bonus, and it's $197 now. So as you can imagine, so everyone who's already in there and decided last minute, like, oh yeah, definitely I'll have that. All they had to do is invest $29. However, I also, and I know it's going to increase, because you can see the reviews in the Facebook group shared already for people having a session with me. I know how it works, but still it's like, oh my God, $29. But what is $29? And again, I can't watch in your wallet, so I don't want to look there, because for some, it can be 200 or 300 or 1,000. There's definitely a difference though. But if you go in with, oh my God, I can't, like $29 is like, oh, I don't know, I'm just going to faint over it, and you get very anxious about it, and you're actually in scarcity, and you're like, oh my God, this money is being taken away from me. So again, this is with everything, it's like taken away from me, and you can't see that you're doing it for yourself. You can't see that you have a vision for yourself. That's why you like to invest in something. Then you're going to bring in that energy. So you can't see the opportunities as well, because you come from the mindset that says, I can't have a thing. I don't have that thing. So this is with everything that you want to invest in, even if you feel scared at the start. And again, so the numbers are different for everyone. Someone is perfectly fine with putting it down 5,000 straight away, and another like 10 is like, ooh, I don't know. So it's not about that, but you want to check back in with yourself when you're doing that. Am I making this purchase out of like scarcity? Do I know I want to do this for myself, but I feel fear? then you can pause for a second and you can reframe it. You can say, okay, hang on a second. I'm choosing to do this. I'm choosing to do this because I have a clear vision for myself. I have a clear vision about like improving myself, bettering myself, making whatever it is that you feel you're investing in to better yourself. So obviously the Dark Moon Healing Circle is about your money karma. You get like loads of extras with it, but you know, you're investing in the energy work. You don't think it's like the one thing you ever have to do ever again. It's one of those steps you're taking. And it's, again, it's okay to feel fearful. You just reframe at the moment. Why am I choosing this? What am I doing with this? Do I feel like empowered? I can choose. And that's the way to stir your intentions in the direction that you want to increase, whatever you want to increase, be it money, your relationships, new locations, new jobs. It works the same for everything. It's just you as the interaction with whatever you're asking for. Oh, I'm just keep throwing over my coffee. Be very careful. I'll do that because I choke with my hands. All right, so let me know. Okay, so yeah. So see you later, Kim. So let me know, guys, if you have an aha, if you want to ask me a question about this, if you need a little bit of time for the reframe. So what have we talked about? If you're just jumping on here, you've been giving, I think, a major money lesson that I feel if you apply it today, so what actionable can you take today? You're going to create increase for yourself. Simple as that. You've gotten a tip around scarcity and why you want to take the time to reframe how you think about that. If you think about things as loss when you're investing something, even if it's like $1, or for you it's maybe $1,000, think about that again. Stop. You don't want to put the energy of loss there. You want the energy of you bettering yourself in there. So this is something you can apply. And we talked about the equinox and about celebrating your harvest and looking at what you've received. There's a blog post on that. I'll link that in actually. And I'm not sure if you saw that. I love it so much. The Divine Masculine Channeling. I've written it out for you. The Divine Masculine is a collective I channel. I've not taken that much time for it lately, but they are all about success. They're all about power and empowerment. And that's been the lessons they've been giving me. And I've written out this message for you that they gave on the equinox and on harvest, on you know, how harvest is so personal to every single person, how it's about who you are, and that is where you reap success from, and that is where your definition of success comes from. All about that alignment, and they said that that's where your greatest joy is. So I love that. I kind of like shared it everywhere, but I hope you're going to share that everywhere as well. So feel free to share the blog post on that. And I'd love to hear if that message also resonated with you. Okay. Okay. All right. Selena says, yes, the scarcity thing is totally me. So I now know how to reframe this. So thank you. Yeah. So just step in. And again, with everything, it's going to be habits. So you don't want to do it one time. You want to keep reminding yourself and working with it. And you do it for a reason. You do it for your well-being, for your loved ones, for whatever you want to spend your time and energy on Earth. And ideally, and I hope for everyone, that will be a very joyful experience. Okay. All right, guys. I'm going to go to the gym now, and we'll speak later. All right. Sending you so much love. Thank you for being here live, and see some of you soon in the dark moon. All right. Bye-bye.